If you have cash sitting in a high-yield savings account right now, you need to watch this entire video, because what worked in 2023 and 2024 is starting to quietly work against you, and the window to make a smart move is closing faster than most people realize. Here is exactly what you are going to learn today. You will learn why savings account rates are falling and why that trend is not stopping anytime soon. You will learn what short-term bond ETFs actually are in plain English. You will learn how they compare to your savings account on yield, risk, and flexibility. You will learn which specific ETFs are worth looking at. And finally, you will learn exactly how to use them without taking on more risk than you are comfortable with. Let us get into it. Here is the simple truth about why your savings account is paying you less money right now. When the Federal Reserve cuts interest rates, banks do not need to compete as hard for your deposits. So they quietly lower what they pay you, usually without sending you a single notification about it. This is not a conspiracy. It is just how banking works. When rates were high in 2023 and 2024, banks were paying 5% or more on high-yield savings accounts because they had to in order to attract deposits. But now that the Fed has been cutting rates, those same banks are dropping their rates fast. Some accounts that were paying 5% are now paying closer to 3.5% or even 3%. And here is the part that stings. Inflation is still running above 2% in most categories. So if your savings account is paying 3% and inflation is eating 2% of your purchasing power, your real return is barely positive. You are essentially treading water and calling it saving. The Fed has signaled more cuts could be coming. That means savings rates could keep drifting lower throughout 2026. So what do smart investors do when cash stops pulling its weight? They look for alternatives that move in the opposite direction of rate cuts. And that is exactly where short-term bond ETFs come in. Let us break this down in the simplest possible terms, because this is where most people tune out, and that would be a mistake. A bond is basically a loan you give to a government or a company. They promise to pay you back with interest over a set period of time. A short-term bond is just a bond that matures in a short window, usually 1 to 3 years, sometimes up to 5 years. An ETF, or ETF, is a basket that holds many of these bonds at once. So when you buy one share of a short-term bond, ETF, you are essentially spreading your money across dozens or even hundreds of different bonds. That spread reduces your risk significantly compared to owning just one bond from one company. The beautiful thing about short-term bond ETFs is that you can buy and sell them anytime during market hours, just like a stock. There is no lockup period like a CD. There is no waiting. You buy it in your brokerage account, it pays you regular income, usually monthly, and you can sell it whenever you need the cash. The income they pay is called the yield, and right now many short-term bond ETFs are still yielding more than the average savings account, even after rates have started falling. Stay with me because next we are going to compare the actual numbers side by side. Let us talk real numbers because that is what actually matters here. The average high-yield savings account in early 2026 is paying somewhere between 3 and 4%, depending on the bank. That sounds decent until you factor in that these rates can change overnight with zero notice. Now look at short-term treasury bond ETFs. Many of these funds are currently yielding in the range of 4 to 5%, depending on the specific fund and what is in their portfolio. That yield tends to hold more stable in the short term because the bonds inside the fund have already locked in their interest payments. Here is the key difference though. When you put money in a savings account, your balance never drops below what you put in, assuming the bank is FDIC insured. With a bond ETF, the price of the ETF can go up or down slightly based on the market. That is the trade-off. However, and this is important, short-term bond ETFs are much less volatile than long-term bond funds. We are talking about small fluctuations, not the wild swings you see in the stock market. If you are holding for 6 months or longer, that price movement is usually a very minor concern compared to the income you are collecting. The flexibility is also a major advantage. Want your money back next Tuesday? Just sell. No waiting for a CD to mature. No penalty fees. This is cash that works harder without locking you in. But there is one more thing you need to know before buying anything. There are a lot of short-term bond ETFs out there, and not all of them are the same. Let me give you a simple framework for thinking about this. The safest option is a short-term treasury ETF. These hold bonds issued by the U.S. government, so the credit risk is about as low as it gets. Look at funds like iShares Short Treasury Bond ETF, ticker SHV, which holds bonds maturing in less than a year, or SPDR Bloomberg 1 to 3 month T-bill ETF, ticker BIL. These behave almost like cash. If you want a little more yield and are okay with slightly more movement in price, look at funds holding bonds in the 1 to 3 year range. iShares 1 to 3 year Treasury Bond ETF, ticker SHY, is a popular one. Vanguard Short-Term Treasury ETF, ticker VGSH, is another with a very low expense ratio. If you want even more yield and are comfortable with a small amount of corporate bond exposure, look at Vanguard Short-Term Bond ETF, ticker BSV, or iShares Short-Term Corporate Bond ETF, ticker IGSB. These hold a mix of government and high-quality corporate bonds. The key things to check before buying are the expense ratio, which should be low, the average duration of the bonds inside, and the current yield. Lower duration means less sensitivity to rate changes. Keep it simple and do not overthink it. But the next section will show you exactly how to fit this into your actual strategy. Here is how to actually use short-term bond ETFs without overcomplicating it. First, think of them as a home for cash you will not need for at least 3 to 6 months. Emergency funds that you might need tomorrow should stay in a savings account. But money you are holding for a future goal, a vacation, a home purchase, a car, that is a great candidate for a short-term bond ETF. Second, keep it inside your existing brokerage account. You do not need a new account. Just search the ticker, buy shares, and let the monthly income start building up. Third, do not chase yield. The highest yielding short-term bond ETF is not always the best one. Look at credit quality first, then yield, then costs. And finally, review it every quarter. In a falling rate environment, yields on these funds will gradually drift lower too. But they tend to stay competitive longer than savings accounts because of how the underlying bonds are structured. The bottom line is this. If you have cash sitting around doing less and less work for you, short-term bond ETFs are one of the smartest and most underused tools available. They are not perfect. They are not risk-free. But for the right kind of cash, they are absolutely worth using. If you found this helpful, please hit that like button right now. It genuinely helps this channel reach more people who need this information. Subscribe if you want to keep making smarter decisions with your money in 2026, because we post new videos every week. And drop a comment below telling me where you are currently parking your cash. Savings account, money market, CDs. I read every single one, and I would love to know what you are working with.